I lost 10 years of memory. I woke up and found my high school nemesis, the queen herself, is now my wife. Not only did I marry Serafina Hayes, but we obviously have 2 children. A terrible nightmare. Serafina Hayes, your husband, is out having fun again. When I came, boys and girls are hanging around me. Neon lights are dazzling. Music is deafening and smoke, and the old wine gave me a splitting headache. The last thing I remember, I skipped classes and stayed in school, sneaking into the arcade with my friends. How did I wake up? The arcade became a club. What happened? Can someone explain this to me? As I was trying to find my way back, the phone in my pocket started buzzing like crazy. Who is so annoying? Can one have fun alone? I complained. I took out my phone and looked at the caller ID. 2 bold words staring at me: wife. What a joke. I was a high school student. Where can I find my wife? But I was still curious, so I clicked on the answer cold. A ruthless female voice came from the phone. Jasper Reed. You have 10 minutes. If you are not at home, I will make you regret it forever. Familiar voice. But it's strange. I'm not sure. Is that you, Serafina Hayes? What, you don't even recognize your own wife anymore? Serafina's tone was already filled with impatience. But as her mortal enemy, I will never back down. Whose wife do you claim to be? Serafina Hayes. You'd better explain. Jasper Reed. You wait. Sir, we are not done yet. Serafina hung up the phone. I laughed. Who knows what crazy pills she took tonight? Totally crazy. Half an hour later, some people go. The dancer in revealing clothes rubs against me. The way she moves her hips, man, this is exciting. If this is a dream, I hope I never wake up. Suddenly, I felt a kick in the ass, almost made me fall on the dancer. I turned around suddenly, staring at what Serafina Hayes is wearing now, a whole universe away from the innocent queen bee. I remember when I was in high school, she put on her makeup carefully, eyeliner, and everything, wearing a pair of high heels. If our old head teacher, Mothers of Dragons Peterson, saw this, she'll definitely call our parents. Even if you are the valedictorian, you can't be crazy like this. Suits and high heels. Is this what high school students should wear? This is ridiculous. Could it be that Serafina? She is always buried in reading. I finally decided to let my hair down to a large extent, judging by the way she's dressed. Her boyfriend must be bad news, whoever he is. As long as I can catch him, I will tear him to pieces. Chatting up Serafina Hayes, he wants to die. Staring into Serafina's dark eyes, I felt angry and surprised. Why did you kick me? You're wearing stilettos. These things hurt. Do you know Serafina? Obviously angry, taking her anger out on the dancer next to me. You are rubbing him. The dancer turned pale with fear, lowered my head, not daring to say a word. Next second, Serafina slapped the dancer hard, twice. You shameless slut. How dare you seduce my husband? You asked for it. The dancer's hair is messy. She stood there trembling. All eyes in the club immediately focused on us. The club manager and several bodyguards rushed over, seeing their aggressive attitude. I became nervous. This could get bad fast. If they called the police, Serafina would probably be arrested. If she had a record, I don't know if this will mess up her college applications. This year, after all, she attacked someone on their own turf. Managers need to maintain their reputation. He won't stop there. I just hope we can work our way out of this mess. Preventing escalation. If things get bad, I'll have to give up my dad's name. Hopefully this will calm things down. I pulled Serafina's sleeve and whispered, Serafina is too impulsive. You should apologize to your manager. Trying to make things work, you know. Choose your battles. Live to fight another day. But Serafina's frown deepened. She gave me an even more impatient look. Why do you love to talk so much? We will fix this at home. Solve this problem at home. Who solves what problem at home? I've never seen this side of Serafina in my life. One minute she was calling me husband, she wants to go home with me next. Isn't she the untouchable ice queen of the school? Why is she behaving like this? Despair tonight. Have you been drinking? I sniffed it carefully. Doesn't smell like. After all, we grew up together. Seeing her like this, I feel conflict. Finally, I shook my head and refused. It's late. It's not appropriate for me to go home with you. How about tomorrow? I'll call some of my people. You got some girls. We can all hang out after school. You know a little bit about Bond. Serafina was stunned at that moment. She probably thought I was completely crazy. The club manager swaggered over with his men. Who is that idiot who hit Lexi? I do think Serafina's voice is like ice. When the manager saw Serafina's face, his attitude has changed 180 degrees. Well, if it wasn't Ms. Hayes, it's a great honor to have you here. The manager dragged Lexi over. They all started apologizing to Serafina. Serafina didn't even bother to look at them. She just grabbed my hand, pulled me right out of the club. I'm just a high school student, you know. At that awkward and easily flustered age, she made my face hot. When she held my hand like that, my heart beat faster. If we weren't such a notorious opponent, I might really think I fell in love with her. The car stopped in front of my house. My eyes are as big as saucers. I was shocked. Serafina said she wanted to go home with me. She means my home. She calls me husband. Hold my hand. If my parents saw this, they would starve me to death. While I'm still processing, still holding my hand, Serafina led me into the living room. Some new housekeepers saw Serafina holding my hand. Doesn't seem surprised at all. They all bowed slightly and called us Sir Reed and Mr. Reed. I can understand that's me, but Mrs. Reed, where did this come from? Serafina asked a housekeeper. How is Leo? The butler replied, he just took some fever medicine and is now asleep. I thought about it for a while, then asked Leo curiously, is this your dog? You know, an English name sounds more classy. Serafina glared at me. Jasper, what's wrong with you tonight? What's wrong with me? I almost laughed out of frustration. I should ask you. You call me your husband first. Now you drag me to my own home. Serafina, what do you want to do? Serafina's face was filled with an inexplicable sadness. What I want to do. Leo is sick and wants to see his dad. What do I do? You don't care about the company. You never go home. All you do is party and chase women. Look at yourself, Jasper. Look what you've become. Don't you feel embarrassed about what others say? I stood there blankly. The housekeeper looked at Serafina with sympathy. Like Serafina is the most wronged woman in the world. I swallowed hard, trying to recover from the shock. Wait a moment. Leo needs his daddy. So you come to me? I won't be tricked into playing dad for a kid I don't even know. Before I could finish, Serafina slapped me. It's a burning pain. Damn. She didn't hold it back. I exploded. Serafina, are you crazy? Why did you hit me? Just then a little girl in pajamas runs down the stairs. Mom, Dad, why are you fighting again? My teacher said that a family should be happy instead of fighting all the time. The little girl looks like a porcelain doll, her watery eyes staring at me. She seemed to want me to apologize to Serafina. I squatted down, unable to resist. Pinch her cheeks gently. You must be Leo. You are much cuter than your mother was when she was a child. Little girl puts her hands on her hips, stamped his feet, and glared at me. Puff up your cheeks, Dad. I'm Lily. Leo is my brother. You chose our name. Remember how you could forget? Dad doesn't love me anymore. If I turned around and met Serafina's sharp gaze, I smiled awkwardly. This little naughty, what a liar. When did I ever give her a name? Lily looked sad. Tears welled up in her eyes instantly. Mom and Dad really don't love me anymore. Serafina held the child. Her jaw clenched. Jasper, do you really want to reject your own daughter now? I immediately flew into a rage. Serafina, what can I do for you? I am a high school student. Where did I get such a big daughter? If you want to make up a story, at least make them credible. Serafina smiled humorlessly. You are a high school student. You will be 30 after the new year. Do you really think you're still only 17 or 18? I was totally shocked. I'm almost 30. The butler standing nearby echoed. Yes, sir, your 30th birthday is in 2 months. Today is your 6th wedding anniversary with your wife. Wait, 6th wedding anniversary? I rushed into the bathroom and stared at my reflection. That's still my face. But the man in the mirror looks much older, much more mature than I was at 18. Did I really marry Serafina Hayes and gave birth to 2 children? I rushed upstairs and into my bedroom. Then I went out again and walked into my father's study. I quickly scanned the entire upstairs and downstairs, then came back. I walked towards Serafina. She saw the pale shock on my face. I opened my mouth, but after a while, there was a sound. When it happens, my voice shakes. Everything has changed. This is completely different since I was a junior in high school. My eyes turned red and a mist formed on them. Serafina realizes something is seriously wrong. My appearance, it looks like I'm not pretending. So she asked tentatively, Jasper, what day is today in your memory? I said without hesitation that today is Christmas Eve. You gave everyone else those cool little gift baskets. I bought a super sour orange. So disgusting. Serafina was stunned for a moment. Then her eyes became complicated. Let's eat first. We can discuss what's going on after dinner. Serafina and I are really married. I don't time travel, and I don't dream. I just lost my memory at the dining table. I held my daughter, Lily, on my lap. Ask her what she wants to eat and immediately put it on a plate. Serafina is no longer cold to me. She smiled slightly. Why are you grinning? Eat something. I rolled my eyes and said Serafina is angry, kicked me under the table. I hit back immediately. Hayes, don't think I don't hit women. You can trample on me. Serafina said nothing. She responded by kicking him again. I didn't like that meal very much, mainly because Serafina keeps teasing me when I was getting ready for bed. My mind was in a mess. Serafina and I have been rivals for years. I never thought we'd end up sleeping in the same bed. Back to school, She always says I'm the person she hates the most. She even said she wouldn't marry me if I were the last person on earth. My mind is racing when the quilt beside me was suddenly pulled away. Serafina slid into the bed next to me. Syncope exudes a pleasant scent, chills on the spine. I immediately became nervous. Psychologically, I'm still an 18-year-old high school student. That age when hormones are rampant, but you're also very shy. I slowly turned my head, look into Serafina's charming eyes, and swallowed greedily. Serafina didn't say anything, but she put her arms around my waist. Serafina, I couldn't help but say her name. Serafina seemed a little surprised. After a while, I spoke out my problem. How did we stay together for 10 years? Didn't you say you'd rather be a nun than marry me? What made you suddenly change your mind? Serafina, there was a hint of smugness in her voice. You're chasing me. You are ruthless. Insist on staying with me. I said no, and you threatened to jump off the building. What do? I have no choice but to surrender. I have my doubts. How is this possible? We are the enemy. Why should I chase you? If you didn't chase me, tell me, where are Leo and Lily from? They didn't come out of the rocks. Even though the child is mine, you must be forcing me. You were always so bossy when you were in school. Quite the contrary. I am a victim. You can't be that person who never loses an argument. You were forced to marry me. Don't believe me. Absolutely not. Excellent. Do you remember what happened? I lost my memory. Amnesia is not an excuse. It's just a way to evade responsibility. Serafina grabbed my wrist tightly and added, Jasper Reed, if you dare, and those nasty women appear there again, I swear to castrate you. I will never divorce you in my life, but I will definitely be a widow. After saying that, she suddenly pulled her hand back. Then he turned his back to me, lying next to Serafina. I was in a state of emotional confusion. It feels like walking a tightrope, man. I was too young and too naive about the world. When I woke up the next day, Serafina was gone. I went downstairs in my pajamas. Serafina is seen having breakfast with her 2 children. I sat across from Serafina. The butler brought me a plate, served with a cooked chicken breast and 2 boiled eggs. I'm speechless. This is what I had for breakfast. I'm not a model. Do I really need such a strict diet? I have no appetite, but I picked it up a little bit. Keep up appearances in front of your children. At this moment, my phone next to me suddenly vibrated. I opened WhatsApp. My jaw almost dropped to the floor. A woman named Connie is saved in my contacts. Zoxo sent me a very sexy selfie. The title reads, Jasper honey, my rent is due soon. If I don't pay, the landlord will kick me out. I will be homeless. Woo woo. Cry, 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 cry me a river. To better understand this, Connie emphasizes Zoxo. I looked through our chat history. Less than 4 months, 5 dates. Every date, Connie emphasizes Zoxo will make up some tragic stories or requests. Today her phone is broken. Spent nearly $1,000 buying her a new iPhone. Her clothes will be torn tomorrow. I spent several $100s on a new one. The day after she lost her wallet, spent another $5,000 on a designer bag. Did she think of me as a personal ATM machine? Still, Connie Zoxo, very beautiful, with smooth and fair skin. If I could, you know that small investments can bring big returns. It's not a bad deal. Read those flirts. The suggestive message made me laugh so hard. This is the joy of adulthood. As I was grinning at the screen, Serafina snatched my phone away expressionlessly. She tapped the screen several times. When she gave it back to her, Connie and Zoxo are gone. Delete it. I checked, glaring at Serafina. Why did you delete my contact information? Serafina first asked the housekeeper to take the children away, then said to me, you use my money, support your mistress. Jasper, do you think this is appropriate? Before I answer, Serafina puts on high heels and a jacket, grabbed the car keys, and walked out the door. Seriously. This woman, I learned from my butler. My father passed away 4 years ago. My mother remarried. Serafina works around the clock, keeping the family going alone. 10 years have passed, and so much has changed, people and places. The strangeness of it all gives me chills. I went to my father's grave. Wawa pours out a drink and swear I want to restore the Reed family to its former glory. That night, Serafina came home from get off work. I made a big plate myself. Okay, so it looks kind of bad. Maybe it doesn't taste good, but what really matters is the idea. Serafina took one look and just said calmly, what's wrong with you? Then she went upstairs to the bedroom. I quietly followed her and closed the bedroom door, pulled Serafina into my arms, and kissed her on the cheek. Serafina's face instantly turned red. She shyly pushed me away. Jasper, if you keep doing this, I'll call the police. Call the police. We are legally married. Legal marriage is, but you can't force me against my will. When have I ever gone against your wishes? You're obviously seducing me. Even if you take me to court, you don't have any evidence. Serafina gritted her teeth. Jasper, you are so shameless. A smile appeared on the corner of my mouth. If you feel you are at a disadvantage, now you can take revenge. I don't mind a few more kisses. Serafina stamped her feet in frustration. You disgusting pig. Why don't you just die? If I die, you won't be a widow? Serafina looked like she was going to hit me. The moment she raised her hand, I grabbed her wrist and pulled her forward. Serafina stumbled into my arms. I have to admit, our eyes met. There is a reason Serafina Hayes was the queen of our high school. Just looking at her face right in front of me, my heart skipped a beat. Even though she's cold to me, she's kind of cute. When she's angry, I just looked at her quietly. Serafina frowned slightly. I've been very busy at work recently. I don't have time for your games. Serafina blushed and shook my hand. Off go to the closet, picked out a pink silk robe. So how is the company doing? I asked. Serafina was sitting next to her having dinner. Could you please stop bringing up annoying topics while I'm eating? Serafina put down her fork. Look at me angrily. I will help you run the company. You don't have to work so hard anymore. Hear this, Serafina? She wasn't grateful at all. She just rolled her eyes. Why don't you sort out your personal life first? Your scandal almost made the tabloids. Pause. Connie emphasized that she had. Didn't you delete her? Serafina pursed her lips. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I took a breath. I obviously need a new understanding of my adult self. My grades might be terrible, but I'm a rich kid stuck in the wool. Before my father died, he left me as his only heir. My stake in Reed alone is worth billions of dollars. In the eyes of those gold diggers, I am a walking ATM. Everybody wants a piece of me. Young and vulnerable, this is not surprising. I'm often involved in scandals. Serafina glanced at her phone and sighed softly. What's happening now? I asked curiously. Serafina looks troubled. Hayes Company to hold annual celebration tomorrow. They invited me. If you want to go. If not, what's the big deal? If I don't go, people might say I've grown too big for my britches. I now despise Hayes Company. Then shut them up. Do you want to come with me? I don't actually want to go, but thinking of the Hayes family and their greedy faces, I can't help but worry about Serafina. Well, after all, I am your husband. I'm right to go with you. The next day, Serafina and I attended Hayes Corp's annual celebration. When Serafina shows up, hold my hand. Every head in the ballroom turned to look. The expressions on their faces are priceless. Why did Serafina bring him along? No surprise. Better keep him under control. Stop him from having fun in the city. You know, Serafina is really great. She controls Reed's vast fortune. She should have turned a blind eye to Jasper's extracurricular activities. It is normal for a man to have several women around him. Correct. Serafina is too controlling. She is hostile to every woman around Jasper. Marrying into the Reed family, it's progress for her anyway. What right does she have to control Jasper's private life? Their voices are not loud, but not small either. Enough for me to hear. I think they did it on purpose. Shows hostility and prejudice towards Serafina. I scanned the crowd. Remembering these unfamiliar faces, I laughed secretly. No wonder Serafina didn't want to come to Hayes Festival. How could she feel good hearing these slanders? Serafina squeezed my arm hard, then threw me in the ballroom. Then go to the pool to clear your head. Soon a tall beauty walked towards Serafina. Ms. Hayes, there is no connection between you and Jasper anymore. If I were you, I will divorce him as soon as possible. Serafina smiled confidently. Lyra, you are wrong. My husband and I are actually fine. If you want to be the third party, maybe I'll try again next life. Lyra smiled. Want to bet if we all fell into the swimming pool right now, who do you think Jasper will save first? Serafina's expression flickered, and then she was silent. Lyra took a step forward and challenged Serafina. Do you want to bet? Losers retreat. Serafina thought this was ridiculous and weird. Why should I bet with you? Even if I win, what's in it for me? If you want to embarrass yourself in front of the Hayes Stadium crowd, that's your business. Please don't involve me. Lyra's face suddenly darkened, but she quickly regained her composure. Just when Serafina thought it was over, Lyra walked up behind her and gave her a hard push. Serafina splashes into the pool and immediately began to sink the next second. Lyra also jumped into the pool. Lyra struggled frantically and cried for help. I cannot swim. I heard all kinds of screams coming from the pool. That is autumn. Even if the weather is not cold, this is definitely not a good day for swimming. I saw Serafina struggling. Her face was filled with fear. I rushed over as fast as I could. Then he jumped into the swimming pool without hesitation. When I pulled Serafina onto the deck with all my strength. She lost consciousness. I immediately started CPR. Compress her chest and give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Serafina coughed water into my face. Take a deep breath. Damn, you scared me. Lyra, wrapped in a blanket, just stand next to me. When she saw me giving Serafina CPR, Her face immediately turned pale. Jasper, why did you save her first? Not me. Lyra is beautiful, possessing a hot body and unique temperament, seductive, wild, and charming, a completely different type of woman from Serafina, but I have no impression of her at all. Amos, who are you? Lyra just stared at me, no explanation provided, but in her eyes I saw anger and disappointment. People around us started to whisper. The woman, I think she's a big movie star. That's Lyra Thorne. Oscar winner, she is a VIP guest of Hayes Corporation. Rumor has it that she is Jasper Reed's mistress. Don't you think this is true? Look like it may be true. Sigh, another beauty wasted on the beast. If I were as rich as Jasper Reed, I will have more mistresses than him. Serafina turned pale, but she forced herself to sit up. When she looked at Lyra, a smile appeared on her lips. Miss Thorne, you're a big star. Interfering in someone else's marriage doesn't look good, does it? Lyra clenched her fists. Her knuckles were white. The next second she took out all her anger on me. Jasper, what's wrong with you? Speak for me. There's that mean woman. I fed you some kind of love potion. My expression became unpredictable again, but I kept silent. I have amnesia. Even though I wanted to protect her, I don't know where to start. Besides, Serafina is the mother of my 2 children. Cry it out loud. I can't just stand on the sidelines and oppose her. Can I? My silence only drives Lyra crazier. She stared into my eyes intently and continued. You said we were true soul mates, and Serafina will only bring you endless pain. You also said that Leo and Lily were just an accident. Hayes was on the verge of bankruptcy. She drugged you and got pregnant with your child. You two never really loved each other. This is just her way of forcing you. Married with a baby, her real goal. It was the Reed family's money that was used to rescue Hayes. Court, you even told me yourself, even though you and Serafina grew up together, the person she really loves is someone else. Others prosper. I feel like my brain exploded. A chill ran down my spine. I was sweating all over. So Serafina took advantage of me. She doesn't love me. She married me purely for the Reed money. I stood there. My mind was blank. Serafina grabbed my wrist. When she met Lyra's gaze, her eyes were firm. Miss Thorne, you can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. If you continue to try to sow discord between me and my husband, be careful, or I will sue you for defamation. Serafina, are you threatening me? If I wanted to threaten you, I leaked your tax evasion scandal a long time ago. Why are you making such a fuss? Serafina's words made Lyra waver. Her face turned pale. Lyra is worried about a scandal expose her online and ruin her reputation. She grabbed my other arm and said, divorce her when you are wise. Don't be soft-hearted, then I'll wait for you. She left in a hurry. Watching Lyra leave, I'm totally at a loss. Who is that woman? Totally weird. The moment Lyra left, Serafina took my phone and deleted Lyra's number and all her contact information. After that devastating defeat, there is no reason for Serafina, but I continued to stay. Serafina grabbed my arm, and we left the ballroom. I was sitting in the car looking at Serafina's profile, her expression hidden in darkness and difficult to read. I hope she can give me an explanation, even if it's just a few insincere words, just to fool me. For a while we sat in silence for a long time. Just when I was about to ask her, Serafina unbuckled her seatbelt, leaning over and hugging my waist tightly. Put your face on my chest. The interior lights are off. The parking lot was silent. My heart is beating so fast, I thought it was going to jump out of my throat. Serafina put down all her disguises and used the most gentle way. Don't leave me, okay? I beg you. It's hard to imagine Serafina Hayes, the Snow Queen 10 years ago, also had a gentle side. I swallowed nervously. Okay, Serafina. Her plan apparently succeeded. There was a smile in her eyes. Sit back in the driver's seat and start the engine to drive us home. Serafina not only did not give any explanation, but it actually adds more mystery. I have no choice. Instead, I take my own questions and look for answers. In the next few days, Serafina was surprisingly nice to me. She personally make me breakfast, even bought me